everybody, it's KBR Sports back from our break. Remember, you guys can join in our debates and call in at 571-991-0566 whenever you guys want to voice your opinions, just like Cameron did, and join in on us when we wanted to discuss the topic. We'll give you the floor. You guys to say what you got to say on the topic. And the number is 571-991-0566. But for this next topic, the Atlanta Falcons have been a team that everybody's been waiting to give them their respect and have not been willing to consider them a legit team. Understandably so, since Atlanta last season started out 6-0 and failed to make the playoffs from the onset afterwards. So now they went into this game against the Green Bay Packers, which was a big game for Atlanta, which many thought would be a game that would disprove that Atlanta's actually worth giving some recognition to. One person in particular, Mr. Rudy Henderson, was doubting whether or not Atlanta was really legit, and he said that if Atlanta did not win this game, he would call into this very program and let me hear it about Atlanta losing to the Packers, since I said I think people should put their faith in Atlanta. Now, the Atlanta ended up winning the game 33-32. So now I'm asking, where is Rudy at? Rudy, where are you? I have not seen the phone light up or nothing. I'm just waiting for a phone call, my friend. I'm waiting for a phone call.
We're getting a lot of attention this show.
You said he's gonna lie. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not one to be, to brag about when I write or anything. It's just not my personality. But once in every, sometimes you just gotta flush chest out a little bit. If only y'all can see Nigel's face right now. But Nigel, did the Falcons win prove that they're legit?
First of all, I've been saying Atlanta's legit since we started. Even before we even went live, I said Atlanta was legit. And when we went live, I said Atlanta was legit. So it's going to be weird when I say it. I don't think Atlanta's legit. They're a good team. They're going to make the playoffs. You
just said they're not legit?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
The build up just said, what?
Yeah. They have one thing that they don't do. If they did this one thing, I would be like, you know what, Atlanta, I completely buy into you. I buy your stock. Put all your money into the Atlanta Falcons stock. I would be completely on board with them. They don't get turnovers. That's the one issue I have. I'm probably the biggest proponent. You can have a bad defense and still be great, but you have to cause turnovers if you're going to have a bad defense, which they don't. They've only caused 8 turnovers. The teams in their conference right now, they have 8. Minnesota has 16. They played 2 less games. Dallas has 10 in their game, and they played 1 less game. So the 2 teams that I feel are above them they create turnovers more than, and they have and they already on top of that, Minnesota has the number 1 defense. Dallas is sitting somewhere in the middle, or actually above average. So they have the worst defense by a mile. They don't cause turnovers. So I can't trust them as much as I want to trust them. If they can start generating turnovers, I would be like, you know what? I'm all for it. And if they in the last 8 games of the season they start generating turnovers, I'm all for it. I will put all my money. I will say right here and right now, if they start calling turnovers, I will pick Atlanta to go to the Super Bowl. But until then, I can't trust them.
What? So okay, you don't trust Atlanta. Do you trust Houston?
No.
Do you trust Pittsburgh?
No.
Nigel, do you trust Denver? Do you trust Denver? Yeah. Okay. Let me give you the scenarios of these teams. Okay. So in the AFC West, Denver right now is sitting at 6-2.
Yes.
Tie with Oakland.
No.
With 6-2. So you don't trust Denver.
No.
Okay. AFC South, Houston leads at 5.
Oh, I should say I don't trust Denver because I like Oakland. Who's the worst version of Atlanta? Yes, I realize this.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying.
Don't get me wrong. I understand. I
understand.
I have reasons for not liking Atlanta. I have the only reason why I like Oakland is because I like the story. I'm not gonna lie. I don't have any numbers or anything to back up why I like Oakland. I like Oakland as a story. I want them to go to the AFC Championship game.
But Nigel, how can you trust one team but you don't trust the other?
I just gave you the reason why.
But I'm saying, just because you like a story?
Yes.
Nigel,
I'm serious. They're a really good team. They have a quarterback that I think is a good quarterback. They have a great offensive line. And you know what? Beyond that, they just win games. I don't understand it. They win games. They don't lose. That's just how it is. They lost 2 games, which is a contradicting statement. I understand.
But, it's a very contradicting statement.
But they just have some kind of I don't know how to explain. It's like watching Tebow play. He's not good, but he somehow gets it done, and that's what Oakland is. They're a good team. I don't think they're an unbelievably great team, but they just somehow get it done. So, and that's why. Like I said, I've been telling Atlanta pretty much all season until probably the last 2 weeks. Maybe even just this week, honestly. So, it's not that far-fetched, honestly.
Wow.
But keep going with your list. Keep going.
Okay, you trust Dallas?
Yes.
Do you trust New England?
Yes.
So, you realize you trust Minnesota?
Yes.
Nigel, no, wait, this doesn't make any... literally none of it makes sense anymore.
Go ahead, what you
literally just listed about... You only trust 2... You essentially only trust 3 out of 7 division leaders. Yeah. Oh, I forgot. Do you trust Seattle?
Can I put a tentative yes on that?
A tentative yes?
Yes.
What?
They have the opposite problem of Atlanta. They can't score, but they play unbelievable defense. So I'm kind of like, and now if they're downslide just right now because Russell Wilson's injured, or are they really gonna have? And their offensive line is not good. It's putting it nicely. They don't have a running back right now. So do I trust their offense is gonna put up enough points? And do I trust their defense is gonna stop every single team that they play? I don't. Mm-hmm. But it's a tentative yes because I don't know how their offense is gonna be until Russ is healthy again. Mm-hmm. So that's why it's a tentative yes.
Okay.
So you asked me, do I trust the most of it? No, because to be honest, how many great teams are there in the league right now? There's not many. Green Bay's not great. Minnesota is. After that, the division falls off.
But at this point, what are you trusting Atlanta to do? Are we trusting Atlanta to make the playoffs?
Oh yeah, they're gonna make the playoffs. I said that.
So, but isn't that okay? So do you trust them to? But isn't that the point of what we're trusting Atlanta to do?
Oh, that's it. Yeah, I absolutely trust them. I thought you meant go to the Super Bowl.
Well, at least I think the standard bar for right now for Atlanta is to at least make a deep playoff run. They want to make it to the Super Bowl, but you at least have to get deep into the playoff before you do that.
It depends. I think if they match up with Seattle again, and Seattle has not fixed their offensive problems, I think that's a winnable game. I think if they match up with Green Bay again, if they make the playoffs, that's a winnable game. Mm-hmm. Dallas, I'm leaning more towards Dallas. Minnesota, I'm leaning mostly towards Minnesota, depending if their defense continues and Sam Bradford is not bad. Sam Bradford, I'm leaning heavily towards Minnesota.
Minnesota's currently losing right now on Monday Night Football.
3-zip.
Yep. All right. Well, that.
Oh, hold on. Do you think Atlanta's legit? We have my opinion.
I was the one that spoke up for them.
Oh, so you're completely buying into them? Making the playoffs?
Yes.
Making a deep run.
Making
a deep run.
No.
Why not?
I just believe that for whatever reason, it's the same. For me, it's always the same thing. I believe that the better teams, like a Seattle and everything like that, always rise up in late postseason form. They come up and true to their late postseason form. And, and for me, it's offensive teams have never been the ones to really go far into the playoffs.
When you say offensive teams, you mean teams that don't play good on defense either.
Yeah. That aren't the greatest. Aside from Arizona last year, even though Arizona made it to the NFC Championship, so that's a deep playoff run. Mm-hmm. They made it to the NFC Championship and got whopped by Carolina in order for the Carolina to get to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. But the Packers last year they beat their Washington. I don't really want to call them that other name, but they beat Washington and then they got eliminated in the next round. Mm-hmm. And so it's like you see that if you can't stop people, you really can't go anywhere. Mm-hmm. You won't always be able to put up points on somebody at an alarming rate.
And I will say the 2 teams that they've lost, 2 of the 3 teams they've lost to. Oh no, they lost to Atlanta. The 2 teams.
Wait, what?
I'm sorry, they lost to Seattle.
Okay,
they beat Denver. Uh-huh. I was gonna say the 2 top defenses they played were their worst 2 offensive outputs. No surprise there. They put up less than 25 points. So that's why I'm kind of like I'm putting a tentative. I like them as a team. Yeah, I just can't buy into them. And like I said, that completely changed. If they generate turnovers on defense, I have no problem buying into them.
All right, we'll see. Mr. Rudy Henderson is an APB out for you, my friend.
Yeah, we're waiting, bro.
An APB out for the guy that said he did not believe the Falcons would even beat the Green Bay. Guys, this isn't about the Super Bowl. This isn't about the playoffs. It was just about. He said that he didn't even think they could. He marked go back and find the tape from Friday. Was it Friday or Wednesday?
Friday.
From whenever the last time, I don't care. Whenever the last time it was that it was Friday. Yeah, it was Friday.
I said that.
Go back. Yeah, you did. No, you said you weren't.
I said Friday.
Oh man, all right. But go back and listen to the Friday tape. This guy said that, the minute the Packers beat the Falcons, Brendan, I will call into your radio show. I won't even speak. He said he won't even speak. He will just call in just so we know he's there.
Yeah, my man. When it didn't go his way, dead silence.
Dead silence.
Rudy, where you at?
More quiet than a mime at midnight.
Okay. Anyway, folks, we'll be back after the break.
All right, y'all, stay tuned.